The same with Singapore as well. A bit more surprised with the changes that they've made, but I think they've perhaps had a few fitness issues. The game's, coming thick and fast in the knockout stages.
Well, almost immediately, Hafiz Noor searing down that left-hand side. He's got the pace, hasn't he, Hafiz Noor?
He's been looking confident, hasn't he? And not Hafiz Noor, I'm referring to the man on the bench just now. Tatsuma Yoshida is smiling all the way through.
It's a different kind of outlook because he's had a tough time, hasn't he, in this tournament?
Yeah. And he's got a big smile on his face. We saw him as the teams were coming out for their warm-up. He was looking nice and relaxed, nice and confident. And, we talk about the changes that are being made. You see that the goals that have been conceded in this competition, the passing accuracy so far, things like the crossing accuracy, not too much of a difference between these two sides.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, every stat there, and there's Shin Tae-yong, the opposite number, who's also quite a character himself. Everything was close except for goals scored. 14 for Indonesia, 8 for Singapore, but they've had almost exactly the same number of shots, which means that Singapore have been pretty good at the conversion rate. If you want to look at that, Amy Reka, the man who's leading the line for Singapore, had one really great effort, didn't he, against Nadio in that first leg. And talking of forwards, Indonesia had 3 different forwards. They tried 3 different combinations, didn't they? Ezra Wallian was yanked off after 34 minutes, having been brought on.
Yeah, at half-time, I guess it just wasn't quite working out for him. But good to see he's still retained the faith of his coach.
Here's Shadan Sulaiman for Singapore. That's a delightful ball up to his club teammate Hafiz Noor, who doesn't get the better of the Indonesian skipper Asnawi. You know about the pace of this Indonesian side that has caused so many problems, and now, Roshan, they've enhanced it. Ramai Rumakek.
Yep.
What a paceman he is.
A very direct player, number 20, on the left-hand side of this Indonesian attack.
Poor old Irfan, getting dropped like that. I mean, that is the kind of depth. Force that. There's Noradam Abdullah, preferred in that left wing-back position. His first international start in that last game, and has retained his place. They have rotated the wing-backs a little bit in this tournament, Singapore. Now Shadan Sulaiman. Trying to slide that into Amy Reka. And he featured for Singapore. Now he's got to start here in the semi-final. Big moment for him. Here's Pratama Arhan.
There's fresh legs for Singapore, especially in those forward positions with Amy and Hafiz Noor coming in. Interesting to see how they get on, and I know there's a lot of talk on social media about Singapore's lineup and how people weren't sure with the changes that were made. I mean, he's got a squad, Tatsuma, and he's been very consistent with his messaging around it, in that he said, I trust every member of the squad.
It's a delightful ball from Hani Shahin. Reka, by the way, he's got plenty of pace about him as well. Had a standout season last campaign for Geylang International. 10 goals for him. His best return.
I mean, if we see Amy Reka initially making their run in behind, got cut out, and then Hani Shahin. It's a really good shielding of the ball by Alfeandra, who looks to just be occupying a central midfield position alongside Rahmani Rianto. And what that means is it's given Ricky Kambuaya a bit more freedom to drift across those midfield areas. Here he is on the right-hand side.
Rianto, distinct with that tucked-in shirt. Nice touch on to Song Wei-yong. He seems to pass through Shadan Sulaiman, a quarterback type of role. Pratama, quick pass on from him. Here's Ramai Rumakek. Now Witan Sulaiman. Still Witan, who was brilliant in that last game. Witan. Bit of a pity in vain there to the referee.
Yeah, another player who's very difficult to pin down. Witan Sulaiman talked about his intelligence and his awareness of the game. It's wonderful. He gets himself into areas where he knows that he can pick the ball up here, cause lots of issues in behind the Singapore midfield. And again, there he picked it up behind that midfield and looked to try and run at the defense.
Showed a little bit too much of the ball there. Irfan, here come Indonesia. Witan Sulaiman slips the ball through. And that was a poor miss. Right in front of goal by Kambuaya.
I think he might have taken a deflection off Haris. It was so important for the Singapore captain to come across. Irfan just getting caught out by Ramai Rumakiak there. I love this. This is intelligence from Witan Sulaiman. Understanding of, he could have perhaps taken a shot on himself, but he thinks, Ricky Kambuaya has made a good run. Use him. Nice little reverse ball into the number 15, and it was so important for Haris to come across. That's one of the benefits of having that back three, an additional man in the center of defense.
Corner for Indonesia, first one of the game. Important intervention there by Haris Harun, who they've preferred in that back three now. Here is Witan then with the corner. Doesn't get past the first man. Witan Sulaiman again. Afriander Dewanga. Pratama Arhan. We know we can hit them. Scored a great goal against Malaysia. Slip through. There is Rumah Ramakiak. Good early pressure here from Indonesia.
A good start to this game. From both these sides, but especially from Indonesia here, looking more comfortable on the ball. Things going at a good tempo. Singapore looking to still try and play out from these pressure situations. Lovely dummy there from Hami Shaheen.
And all that pressure started from Irfan trying to bring the ball out. The sequence of events has led to this. A lot of time on the ball. He loves to try and bring the ball out of play. Here's Hafiz Noor.
Very good work from Hafiz Noor, quick feet. And he's one of those players, Hafiz Noor, who, a little bit like Haris Harun, was unfortunate to pick up COVID. Which meant, of course, going to be involved in quite a bit of the build-up.
Fantastic run for Zulkan and Suzuman. That was a ballooned shot, wasn't it, from Song Ryong?
Tatsuma Yoshida is a big fan of Hafiz Noor. I think every time he's been in the squad, he's contributed.
There's Rawalian running in that channel, and good work there from Irfan Fandi. He's not the most mobile of strikers, but he's big and he's got that physical presence.
Ezra Walian, yeah, and I know lots of Indonesian fans out there are calling him Giroud, the Indonesian Olivier Giroud, because of his physicality, his role in the team as well. As I said, he perhaps is not going to get too many goals, but you can play off him, and they've got good mobility around him as well. So that type of style.
The issue I've certainly been seeing online as we see that ball in from Pratama Arhan. That's another corner for Indonesia. He's the only striker that scored in the goals, and that's one goal from the four that they've brought in. Shin Tae-yong's team have been scoring. Into the mix by Alfayandra.